Hi everyone, this is 13th video in Art of Clearing Prelim series. In this series, we have discussed 12 videos before it, and we have discussed bit by bit detailed strategy subject wise. We have also done PYQ analysis. We have also seen what are the possible reasons that are leading to continuous failure in prelims or specifically CSAT. What are the effective reading strategy to retain maximum possible extent of facts and informations, which are extremely helpful for prelims examination. So if you haven't watched those videos, don't worry, I will put all the links in the description itself. Today, we will discuss another very important subject, that is geography. Geography is extremely important. Why? First of all, the crude analysis will say that the number of questions that are being asked from geography is extremely high. After history, if one of the subject which has rocked UPSC time and time again since the inception of civil services examination has been geography. And why, like history, it is very fundamental is that the knowledge of geography, foundational concepts of geography helps in other subjects as well. If you are good in geography, it will help you in environment. Environment is very much the applied part of geography. They are both interrelated and correlated. As well as in international relations, it helps a lot, both in prelims as well as in mains. If your optional is political science and international relation, it will definitely help you a lot more. So considering the weightage as well as how it helps in other subjects, geography is of immense importance, and one cannot ignore geography and still think that he or she can clear prelims. Maybe one or two times in fluke they might clear, but still getting a rank is very, very difficult, because in mains approximately 100 marks of questions will come from geography, without which no one can get good rank. Okay. So why geography is important, I have discussed in detail. Now let's see how many questions from geography has surfaced from 2011 to 2024. If you can see, constantly the UPS is asking around 20 questions since 2011 to 2024, barring a few exceptions like 2013, 2017, 2018, and 2023. It's been always 20 or 20 plus. Now let's see the analysis between the current affairs versus the number of static questions. So there is a trend. The trend is that slowly, the number of questions that are being asked from static portion has decreased, and the number of questions asked from current affairs has increased. That doesn't mean static is not important. Even in those current affair questions, static concepts were still useful to arrive at the answer, because UPSC, when they ask current affairs, they make option in such a way that you cannot arrive at the answer unless you understood the static concepts. So static will be always very important. But having said that, if you haven't read the current affairs part of geography, it will be very, very difficult for you to score very high marks. Now let's see the theme-wise comparison from 2016 to 2024. So one can observe that climatology has inspired consistently from 2016 to 2024 approximately 3 to 4 questions. Oceanography is a bit on a lesser side. At max, in 2024, they have asked 4 questions, but 2 to 3 questions are generally asked from oceanography. Geomorphology is even more important compared to climatology. Around 5 questions, approximately, if you take the average out from 2016 to 24, around 5 questions are coming. Indian geography is even more important compared to geomorphology. And approximately, if you take out the average, 6 to 7 questions are consistently coming from Indian geography. If you see world map, it is sometimes even diminishing to 1 question. But on an average, one can see that 3 to 4 questions one can expect from world map. and that's a large chunk. Indian mapping was very dominant from 2016 to 2019, and right from the mountains to rivers, lots of questions were coming till 2019. Then it started getting dull in 20 and 21 when a lot of questions came from environment and places in news. Okay, places in news became more prominent compared to the static portion. But again, 22 and 23, 3 and 2 questions were asked. For 24, again, it became dull. That doesn't mean you can ignore. UPSC can surprise you anytime, but that means that places in news and current places like the volcanic eruptions, right from the cyclonic activities, some geographical phenomena. There was a question in mains Fujiwara effect. So that was directly taken from current affairs. So such phenomena inspired mapping are increasingly becoming important. Now let's see the PYQ trend analysis. Now, from static to the orientation is becoming more and more dynamic. Initially, if you knew what is cyclone, what is extratropical cyclone, what is the difference, that was enough. Now, the shift is increasingly becoming dynamic, and dynamic changes that is occurring across the globe. That's why the contemporary environmental and economic issues have become important to correlate with these static concepts. Questions are not that direct. And now there is also an integration between geography, current affairs, and environmental concerns. So you see, in 2019, there was a question on climate change effects on specific region. In 2021, they have asked real-time global events impacting geographical phenomena such as global warming effect on ocean currents or cyclone patterns. That is nothing but the environmental concerns and the global dynamic that is changing due to the changing average temperature of Earth. And that's why lots of geographical phenomena is changing. So now the geography is increasingly becoming dynamic and dynamic. From 2018, a large questions have been from why, and not just from cramming here and there facts. But just cramming geography and you think that you will be able to score very good marks, you won't be able to, because there is a lots and lots of questions which is asking reason behind a particular phenomena. So understanding a concept, understanding a phenomena, say for example, if you are reading El Nino, understand it properly. Understand it through the concept of oceanic current and how it changes, how it impacts Australia, how it impacts India. Okay. And then connect it with La Nina, and then connect it with the global warming, how these cycles are changing. Then you will have a comprehensive and a coherent analysis. I can give you more such examples. Like socio-economic impact of riverine changes in India was asked in 2018. Urban sprawl and the geographical theories and satellite imagery was the center light in 2022. And in 2024, they have combined geography with technology, like the use of GIS in planning and the impact of changing sea level on coastal infrastructure. So again, integrating many concepts like technology and geography. So it is becoming more and more dynamic. Now, enhanced use of maps and data interpretation is also increasingly becoming important. If you're just reading abstract theories, it won't help you. You need to also see the maps. And if you are not inculcating maps, then recalling locations or recalling phenomena appropriately will become difficult. And even in mains, without diagram, you won't get good marks. In geography, it is very, very simple. You need to make diagrams. That's very simple. In any other subject, it is an option, but in geography, it is mandatory. Okay. Now, what are the challenges? The challenge itself is the dynamic nature, because the question is increasingly becoming interdisciplinary nature. The question is increasingly becoming difficult to gauge, and there are lots of sources involved when the question becomes dynamic. There will be involvement of press information bureau articles, there will be involvement of Down to Earth magazine, there will be involvement of Indian Express and Hindu articles, there will be also involvement of CSIR magazines. science direct, etc. Because science and geography are also becoming intermixed in UPSC questions. So the vastness of syllabus, multiple resources, and static versus dynamic confusion, all of this is increasing the difficulty in preparing paper as well as maps. How much and how many one can cram? If you see the coaching institutes videos or compilations, they are giving you thousands of maps, which is practically impossible to retain. So how much to read, and where to stop yourself? Because not just reading will help you, but revision is very, very important. At the end of the day, you don't need to score 90% to clear prelims. You have to score, on an average, I always say, target 60%. If you are targeting 60%, you are always safe. No matter what is the difficulty level of the paper, easy or hard, 60% is done. Now, how to solve these issues? The first thing is prioritize PYQ, and you can see recurrence. I have made how toppers use PYQ a video. I will put in the description. If you haven't watched, I have discussed in detail the patterns, how UPSC is using same thing in different ways, and how you can analyze PYQs and help in your preparation. So in geography as well, that will help you. Go and see that video is a gold video. Okay. And I can I can say you the way you look at PYQs, that will completely change after that video. Please don't shy away from watching that 10-15 minutes video. Visual notes are very, very important. Diagrams, maps. Without that, you cannot understand and recall the physical geography concepts, or human geography, or economic geography, because it's a very vast subject. Integrate NCRT. No? You must be reading 11, 12 NCRTs with the current and dynamic happening, like hydropower projects. Now, hydropower projects, they might ask you the hydropower project which are going on. The hydropower project will be interlinked with the specific river. The specific river will be linked with the multiple tributaries of that river. And whole soul one question will be framed in which a static, a dynamic concepts will be intermixed. So integrate NCRT with the recent development. Focus on very high weightage topic. I have explained you what are the weightage of different topics. So focus more on topics which is fetching you 4, 5, 6 questions. That will help you to gain maximum possible marks in lesser time. Consistent map practice. Use blank maps to locate different locations, like rivers, like mountains, like national parks, like wildlife sanctuaries, like straits, important straits of the world, like important mountain ranges of the world, important deserts of the world. Right? So those are very, very important, as well as some of the locations which are always in conflict. Nowadays, Eastern Europe and is in conflict zone because Russia and Ukraine war is going on and on and on. Israel and Middle East is always in news. South China Sea and surrounding countries are always in news. Okay, so such areas, and Myanmar, ASEAN countries, Myanmar because of the coup, and Bangladesh, India's neighborhood, are very, very important. Those conflict zones in Africa, certain nations like Democratic Republic of Congo. I have started a free initiative, geography mapping for UPSC, in that places in use in static maps. You can use it, you can practice it. They are very, very important, and you will definitely see a number of questions coming from that initiative. Again, I will attach the link. If you haven't joined that free initiative, do join it and revise it. Okay, revision is very, very important. What are the repeated themes? So repeated themes are like climatology. So how climate is changing, La Nina, El Nino, how cyclone is changing. Cyclone, which was prominently coming to the Bay of Bengal, why it is coming more and more into the Arabian Sea. That phenomena needs to be analyzed. Sunspot cycle, how it is impacting, how it is changing. Earth's magnetosphere. Okay, that's how it is changing due to the climate change. All of this is of prime and extreme importance for the upcoming prelims. Map practice, whether it is static or places in use, is of utmost importance. Geomorphology, particularly the landform processes. is very, very important. And landform process and how due to environmental change it is changing. That is of prime importance. In human geography, they are asking more and more on population and urban dynamics. So that is something of prime importance. Now let's see the repeated themes from 2013 to 24. So monsoon patterns and impact have been asked how many times? 5 times. That's a lot. Keyword is monsoon. You need to understand all the dynamics of monsoon, how monsoon comes, what is a monsoon break, what is now how the rainfall happens in November and December in Tamil Nadu. So what is retreating monsoon, what is western disturbance, how it impacts, how many kind of tropical streams are there, how they impact the tropical winds, how they impact the monsoon, how it is related to the Tibetan Plateau. All of this needs to be understood. Then Indian river system, and most importantly, the Ganges, Indus, and Brahmaputra were of importance, prime importance, because 3 questions were asked. But nowadays, I am seeing a pattern as well, that more of the Deccan rivers are coming in paper. So in Deccan rivers, when I am telling, east and west flowing rivers are two of the divisions of the river system, if I'm talking about in Deccan rivers. So, and specifically the rivers in Kerala, okay, that they are of very, very high importance. Even national parks in Kerala, so they are of prime importance. The Nilgiri area is of prime importance. Okay. Plate tectonics and seismic activity, every now and then you must be hearing that there is an earthquake in Delhi, and that's why, and the adjoining areas, the whole Gangetic Valley. So what are the Himalayan fault lines, how they are changing, what are the dynamics of plate tectonics, etc., have come again and again 3 times. Global warming effect, questions on coral bleaching have been asked in mains as well as prelims 4 times. Urbanization effect on biodiversity, like concepts like urban heat island. So now summers are coming, and the now cities are generally seen to be suffering more with the heating effect, because there is lots of concrete, and then how this urban heat island gets developed. Sustainable practices in agriculture. So organic farming is something which is of prominence. Twice it has been asked. Ocean currents and climate interaction. So like Gulf Stream, how climate interactions is shaping it. So that has been asked. Renewable energy, geographical potential, like solar power, solar potential, wind potential, okay, geothermal potential, locate it where it is possible in India. So that is of importance. In terms of environment, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation areas will be of always importance. El Nino phenomena and monsoon is very, very important. Cover it very well. Then integrated water resource management, like river linking project, have been asked a lots of time in mains and prelims also. It is very, very important. Then erosional and depositional feature, like delta formation. Delta formation is of very, very high importance. Twice it has been asked in recent years, like in last 5 years. Best books for geography. So the best book and ultimate one from where you start things is NCERT, hands down. That's of, and specifically those 2 books of 11th class are of extreme importance. Certain things like climatology, like world's climatic zones, have been explained better in GC Leong. So GC Leong you can complement with NCERT, and some go on and read even Majid Hussain for specifically for understanding physical geography concepts, river system, etc. They are discussed in greater detail, but I don't feel if you haven't read it now, until now, you have time to read all of these bulky books. And then integration of current affairs. So newspaper articles, PIB thematic PDFs are posted on our current affairs initiative. Link I will post it. Do follow it. No, 2 initiatives. The prelim specific initiative, we are posting even MCQs and things, places in news and PIB articles. Geography mapping is a free initiative, current affairs is a free initiative, and the prelims mentor. There are 3 free initiative, Telegram initiative that we are running. Regularly follow it. When you will be giving the paper, na, you will thank me. Na, then and there. You will remember, yeah, this question, this thing, this article was posted, and I didn't revise it. Official reports also come, na, by UCN, etc. releases the reports, and those current affair reports are of importance. You can see quick revision module of Karma Yogi IS. Sample link again, I will post it. You can see it. We have made two modules. In one module, all the static concepts have taken from NCERT, GC Leong, Majid Hussain, and are compressed in tables, diagrams for now maximum possible revision. You cannot revise 2000, 3000 pages, but you can revise 200 pages. So in first part, we have compressed around 1500 pages material in 200 pages. In second part, in 100 pages, we have covered current affairs from 2000 January 2024. In that, places in news, etc. All the news, hydropower projects, like everything has been covered. So in those 300 pages, if you revise it 5 times and practice questions, naturally, and I can assure you, 20 to 25% of marks will increase. So you would have got, say for example, if you have solved 6-7 questions out of 20, after reading modules, you will be able to solve 13 to 14 questions. That's quite a jump. It can change your fate. Rest, if you have your own notes, that's the best. Okay, if you have covered it everything and current affairs also you have covered, that's best. Expected questions for prelims 2025. So primary effect of El Nino on Indian agriculture, I am expecting a question. Mapping, I'm expecting a questions on Eastern Europe, and Europe in particular is in too much in news. Central Asia and USA. USA was a lot in news. So the Great Lakes, the rivers, the deserts, I think they can come because of the election. Then environmental threat and Arctic is something which I'm expecting a question. Rivers, biodiversity hotspots, volcanic eruption across the world, major minerals, specifically leading lithium producing country. You need to remember it. Antarctica and why ice is melting. Sustainable development goal themes. This we are posting in our WhatsApp channel. All the sustainable development goals through infographics. If you will understand it, no question you will make it wrong ever. Infographics are very, very handy. I will post the link of this as well. Then, how GIS can be used to manage urban sprawl? I am expecting a question on it. Solar farm development in North Africa. So North Africa map can come and as well as understand the concept. KY geography module. So I have told you everything. Maps and visualization, tables, charts, etc. have been utilized for maximum retention. Current affairs have been inculcated, and this will help you. If you will see sample itself, it's very, very comprehensive. Okay. Now, bias. So our content creation is mostly based on PYQs. We are not trying to make you read 10,000 pages and say everything came from it. We are providing you very limited content, and we can assure you these content directly or indirectly will help you a lot. And we are stressing on PYQs, revision, and basic things. Smart modules are there and mentoring support is also there. So do watch all the videos. All the links I will attach, as well as this PPT ka link I will post, which you can download from our main Telegram channel. Thank you very much. Take care. Best wishes.